All right. Well, thank you all for coming today. And really thank you to, well, everybody. There's a number of House members, very nearly future colleagues of soon-to-be Representative Flanagan. The Speaker is here. Thank you, Kurt, for coming. And Lieutenant Governor Smith is here as well. We are all here to celebrate Peggy Flanagan's overwhelming victory in last week's election. And I say that a little bit in jest, but I also say it because even though the outcome was fairly well known from the day that filings closed, Peggy ran the kind of campaign that I think that really exemplifies the kind of state representative she's going to be, which is a campaign where she worked incredibly hard, made a priority of going out and talking to her constituents and hearing from them about what really mattered to them and engaging them in a very meaningful one-on-one kind of way. And I think that is absolutely what makes the best kind of representative, and I have no doubt that she will be one of the great ones. And not to put too much pressure on you, I suppose. But also, it's also really great that all of you are here today because I think the other thing that really says a lot about her campaign is the people she surrounded herself with during the campaign. And it really was a team effort. And so, you know, for those who don't know, you know, she worked on Paul Wellstone's campaign, worked for Wellstone Action, is a mom, first and foremost, I guess, and has done incredible work for the Children's Defense Fund and so many other things. And she's going to be a terrific representative, so I'm very excited about that. But Lieutenant Governor Smith is there. Thank you. Do you want to come up and say a few words? Sure. Sorry.
Do you want me to hold you while I speak? No, okay. Well, this day is so meaningful to me personally because I have known Peggy for such a long time. And although I'm so much older than you are, I don't know how you must have been a child when I first got to know you. And what I know about, so it's meaningful for me to be able to welcome you into this new role. And I know you're going to do an incredibly great job because of what I know about your passion for social justice and your passion for including everybody in figuring out what the right solutions are to the very tough problems that we have in this state. And I also know you to be a person of just unending optimism for the possibility of what we can accomplish when we all work together. And those, in my mind, is exactly the qualities that we need in our community and in our legislature, and the kind of qualities that make us all stay focused on the goal that Paul always talked about, which is that we all do better when we all do better. This is something that has been at the core of your professional life, and I'm so excited that you will bring that to the legislature. So thank you so much.
All right. Well, now the time has come. So if you would raise your right hand. All right. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of the office to which you have just been elected to the best of your abilities, so help you God?
I do.
Congratulations. And just to make sure that everything is technical here, before I did that, I should have said the certificate of election has been issued, is on file with the Secretary of State. So we're all good there. Peggy Flanagan, Representative Flanagan.
Peggy Flanagan, Indigenous Cause, Guabagad, Nigadikag, and Dunjaba, Mangan and Dodame. My name's Peggy Flanagan. I'm a member of the White Earth Band of Ojibwe, and my family is the Wolf Clan. And the job of the Wolf Clan is to be the protectors of the community. And I take that role very seriously. And that is why I decided to run for the legislature. It's a real honor to be able to represent the community that raised me. And when I was just a baby, my mom, who is here, moved us to the community of St. Louis Park because she knew that in that community I would have access to good schools, stable neighborhoods, and really an opportunity to thrive. And now I want to give back and excited to be able to do that. As Representative Thiessen said and Lieutenant Governor Smith said, I first got my start in this work on the Wellstone campaign. I was literally driving past the Wellstone for Senate office, and something told me like, hey, I like that Wellstone guy. I'm gonna stop and see if I can help out. And I volunteered and stuffed envelopes with complete strangers for 2 hours. And it was really fun. And so I kept going back. And there it's where I saw that electoral politics can be used for the forces of good and can be used to really make a difference in the lives of people when we combine real folks with community organizing and hear the voices of people who are directly affected by the policies that we seek to pass. I never thought that would mean that I would run for office myself. I'm really honored and humbled to be here. Representative Winkler, who is a good friend, and we miss him. We had talked about the possibility of me someday running for that seat. And I was like, sure, yeah, in like 4 years or 6 years or 8 years. And then he was like, hey, surprise. I was able to talk to my incredible family and to my employer, and we made the decision to go for it. And no one was more surprised, frankly, that when I continued to hit the refresh button on the Secretary of State's website, that no one else had filed. But we didn't take anything for granted, because I was raised in the Wellstone model of organizing and always running like you're 10 points behind. And I'm really grateful that we had an incredible team of folks that were led by Jean, and she is amazing. And we knew that when we were going to run, there was one person that I wanted to run my campaign, and that was Jean Stewart. And she led us to this victory, and I'm just so honored and grateful that she was part of our team. And of course, my incredible husband, Tim, my partner in everything, is frankly a big part of why I can do this in the first place. That we made a commitment to each other that we would support one another in our passions and what we care about. And so while he is an improvisational comedian, I support him in that, and now he has made many sacrifices to support me in being able to do this, and I couldn't ask for a more supportive partner. And happy birthday, I got you a state representative. And of course, to my incredible kiddo, Siobhan, who is why I do this work every single day, and I love you so much. And I've told this story, but I think it's important because it also incorporates another person who's here who's really important to me, my mom. I was a co-chair of the Raise the Wage campaign through my role with Children's Defense Fund, and it was the most important thing I've probably ever done in my life. And it was a pretty tough bill to pass, frankly, and there were a lot of folks who worked on it. And there was a moment when we didn't know if it was going to pass or not, and things were looking pretty dark. And I went into Siobhan's room, and she was sleeping, and I watched her sleep. And for those of you who have kiddos or spend time around children, that's sort of like a place to kind of meditate and reflect on your life. And I was just looking at her and I thought, being a parent is hard enough, but being a parent and not knowing how you're going to keep food in your child's belly and clothes on their back and a roof over their head sometimes seemed insurmountable to me. And so I did whatever you do in that situation when you're feeling overwhelmed, and I called my mom. And my mom said, you know, when I was discouraged, she said, I don't care what it takes. You keep fighting, because I wish that there would have been a campaign like this around when you were growing up. And we won. And what this, you know, excuse me, what this is about for me is for people like my mom, who worked incredibly hard. And she sacrificed for me in ways that I just can't even imagine. And that there are parents like her all across the state who are doing the best they can. And that it was through programs like the Child Care Assistance Program and SNAP that we were lifted out of poverty. It was hard work and community that came around and supported us. And that is what I'm here to do. To make sure that all children and families, regardless of who they are or where they come from, have an opportunity to thrive. And I take that very seriously, that I am standing on the shoulders of my mom and my grandma and several generations of folks who've come before me. And it is not lost on me that I will be the second American Indian woman elected to serve in the State House, in the legislature, and that Representative Susan Allen is the first. And I look forward to forming our Indian caucus over in the legislature. And that ultimately, I look forward to not saying this is the second or third or fourth or fifth, but that we have a legislature that truly reflects the community it seeks to represent, and that all folks have a voice and feel as though they're represented at the Capitol. So, I still can't believe this is happening. And I promise to do the best that I can, and I promise to bring my heart and my soul and everything I've learned from all these organizers and teachers who've come before me into this office and into this work. And I just want to say, Chimigwich, thank you so much, and I'm thrilled and honored and humbled. Thank you.